So this game is kind of a masterclass with one of my favorite powers in the game, Phantasm. I have a lot of videos using it. You'll see the power of it against the Reinhardt. I mean, it's basically cheating. It also works really well against Genjis. Spoiler alert, you may see those hero picks on the enemy team. Imagine if I just like lied to you guys and it was like Pharah. And yeah, okay, I didn't. Fine. So Phantasm, great ability. For those who don't know, when you use Fade, you're going to drop off the last orb that you fired. So if you'd fired a damage orb normally, when you Fade, you're going to leave behind a damage orb. If you fire a healing orb, then yeah, you're going to leave behind a healing orb. The advantage of this is that you can stack two of the same orbs. So if you go cross-orbal, then you fire one healing orb, one damage orb, which is great, and they fire both in the same direction. With Phantasm, you kind of get more control, except it gets a little bit awkward if you want to alternate your orbs. So it'd be like, okay, you'd fire a healing orb, and then the last orb that you fired would be a healing orb. So maybe if you want a damage orb, you'd have to Fade first, then heal orb. It gets a bit complicated, but if you can manage it, it's really, really powerful. So we take Phantasm first round, we take ability power, power playbook, and we take the ability lifesteal. So we have to decide, look, are we going to be doing mostly heal orbs or damage orbs in this first round? Because that's going to decide whether you want ability lifesteal or maybe you'd go for something like charge plating. In this case, we said, okay, we're against the Rhino, we're against the Genji. We're kind of committing to damage orbs. But look, if we need a heal orb, we may fire one. So you can go either way in the first round with Phantasm, or the second round as well. Right, we're up against the Ryan, Genji, Freya, Moira, Mercy. We've got ourselves a Kiriko, who died immediately to the Freya shots from spawn. An Ashe, a Soldier 76, and we've got Winston, new to Stadium Season 18. So Freya already got that early kill, so that kind of gives us a little bit of information that maybe we should be a bit careful of them. So maybe not. Often when you get a Freya Mercy, you can get a really good like combo of players. So yeah, we do want to try and target them, but also respect the fact that they know some of the spawn shots, and yeah. So we get her down, our monkey goes down. In return, we move up close to the Rhine, drop off that damage orb. Bounce the orb off of the wall so it bounces back towards their team and hits them a bit more. As soon as Genji dashes, that's when we're going to drop off the orb, because he's not going to be able to get close to us without taking a ton of damage. So Ryan going for the retreat. We're deciding whether we want to fade forward or not for this. Want to save the fade. Basically, yeah, because we can use it to escape or to drop off that orb behind the Rhine. We often want to get behind the Rhine shield before dropping it off. Now we, yeah, dodged the shatter there just behind the wall. Coalescence thought the Freya was actually going to take us down then with ultimate there. But, we managed to survive it. Coalescence tried to save the soldier as long as we could. Now enemy team is pushing us quite aggressively. Winston does a great job jumping up top. We've got to hide behind this cover just in case Ryan decides to try and pin us. But as soon as he moves back and we're going to get our fade back up, we can do that. We tried to fade jump up top, didn't make the fade jump, so we're making sure to use the cover. Like if you really study this gameplay, you'll see how much we use the natural cover in this game, and especially like this round. So it's just, there's always like walls nearby, or we'll try and fade jump up there to get like the health pack. Bit scary there, the Freya jumping up at the same time as us, but we're now going to add some pressure. We get taken down, drop off the orb next to Genji, doesn't manage to deflect it. Yes, Genji's can deflect it. And so now he's in close range, but we've got soldiers to back us up. Take down the enemy team, and it's our turn to push the bot. Winston finishes off the Moira late there, but does get pinned in return. This might be a scenario where we were thinking about firing a heal orb, but we didn't actually need to fire, which means we can save damage orb. Now if, say, the Genji pushes us, we can fade as soon as he dashes on us. He opts to go to spawn. Ryan dashes, so we fade, leave the orb behind, but we exit through the middle. A little bit risky, we could have got taken out there. Genji's also pressuring us here. We need to fade, we didn't fade in time. So enemy team still has the lead, and now they're the ones pushing the bot. So this is me warning the team that I'm thinking that there's a shatter. Ryan moving up to the spawn kind of confirms that it's probably available. We are going to push the rest of the team here and make sure we can stop the bot. Soldier comes in with his ult, so we're using Coalescence a bit for healing. As soon as Genji uses the ultimate sounds, we're being wary of where they are. Get some healing over onto the Soldier because hard to damage players at this point. Bob comes into the point we want to try and heal them. Ryan goes for the pin to get Bob out of there, which means we need to go for the touch now. Heal him just so that Freya uses resources on Bob and not anybody else. She can't really peek out, so we do manage to take the bot back. And we've only got a little bit of distance to go. And there's still 3 of their players not yet spawned. So we predict where the Genji is. Fire the orb over there. Genji dashes, we've got a fade. Ready to set up the Phantasm orb, but there is a Rhine nearby. Fire the orb again, predicting the end. Genji's going to go around that corner, but he didn't. And now here's a big problem. Too many of our team playing too far back. I get that you're ranged hit scan, but in overtime, Winston needs to be able to go in and out of the bot. And a Moira can't stand there and tank a Rhine. Like, the Moira can heal players, and they can tank it for a bit longer. And when we fade, we need to fade out to then heal back in. So our hit scan should have been a bit more aware of that. But it happens. So round 2, straight away, liquid nitrogen. Now we need to decide, do we want to get ability power? Do we want to get more ability lifesteal? Or we can go for some attack speed, something like wrist wraps, right? That will give us attack speed. Since we're not using our orb all the time. Now I try out this Skyline Nanites, is it? Nanites? It's going to deal extra damage through abilities on airborne targets. And I'm thinking, you know what? I haven't used this. Maybe when we're firing an orb at like the Freya or the Genji, and they jump up high in the air, we might just get a damage over time on them. So I thought, let's try out this ability and see how it works out. Right, so this map is reasonably open. It can be a little bit tricky to get Phantasm orbs, especially against flyers and ranged players. But there is still the Genji. We've got the slowing orbs of liquid nitrogen now, which are going to apply to our Phantasm orbs, but we just get deleted by an amped Freya. Slightly frustrating, especially at the start of the round. You can only ever feel like you've let your team down when that happens. But look, the play style that we play is aggressive. We're trying to extract maximum value all the time. We're trying to be hyperactive with our play. And sometimes you get caught out. That is the nature of the style. And lots of people say, oh, well, just play safe. But then if you play too safe with Moira especially, you lose out on so much value that you may end up in a worse position than, yeah, if you actually took some risks and occasionally died. In fact, I almost guarantee you'll be in a worse position if you just stay completely passive, stay alive at all costs. So yeah, we're trying to get involved. Well, not just get involved, we're basically leading the way a lot of the time. That's another thing to look out in this video. Again, using the side walls, right? We're always paying attention. We're always making sure that we're kind of near a wall that we can use for cover. Attacking Genji here, there's not really much point in trying to heal the player there. They're running back to spawn. Try and get the Genji as low as possible. They're a bit low health here. We fire an orb through it. It's going to slow them down, but Winston's jumped in with basically no health. We're using our Coalescence first to save players. Secondly, it's going to slow them and stop them from finishing kills on our players. Dodge the fire strike to slow down the Moira. She orbs, so we're going to step out of the way of those. We're going to leave behind an orb while slowing the Rhine simultaneously. Freya's over in our spawn though. We've got a Genji blade on us as well. Still attacking us, but slightly misjudges where we're going to go with that. So we push out because there was only like 95% left, and we were wondering if we could sneak past everybody and get a touch, but they tracked us back. Enemy team up 2 rounds to 0. We've got a lot of work to do. So we do get MVP, 9.6k cash, which is nice. Get ready for chaos in Clash. It's time for the teams to consult their playbooks. Second power. What are we going to take? So we're going to get rid of that. We really didn't feel it, right? We didn't feel that item. So initially I've just said, hey, look, let's get smart orbs with this. Cyber Venom. Now, do we want to go multi-ball or do we want to go Chain Grasp? The thing about, if we go multi-ball, we're going to get loads and loads of debuffs on players, right? But if we go Chain Grasp, we've got options if maybe the Freya Mercy get out of control. Multi-ball's only good with the debuffs. So now we've got to decide, do we even want Cyber Venom? Because there's a chance that we could take some attack speed or Phantasmic Flux for a bit of survival. So yeah, chat just asking if it's me playing. I haven't seen any fakes. I don't think many people fake this name. I mean, you'd fake it and just get flamed. Like, what's the point? So yeah, he's saying it sees me in bronze, but look, there's a rank reset, so the rank isn't high up yet. But we're still at the high rank MMR, so we still get tough games. Right, so we did opt to stick with Cyber Venom, try and reduce their heal output with a Moira and a Kiriko. That's a lot of healing. Drop off the orb, slows the Rhine a little bit, but they do manage to take down the Ashe. Winston's also low health. We're trying to circle round to get to him, but he's dead before we can do anything. Nearly got pinned there as Genji pushes us, and this really isn't looking that good for our team, but Genji overextends. Still got slowing orbs. We leave one behind for the Rhine, who now chases us with this pin. We get Suzu, but we can't fade in time. We've had about 1 second left on the fade. Enemy team wins this point. Our team's not doing that great. But look, we've got the debuffs, we've got Phantasm, we've got 3 times the damage every time we use an orb on our regular grasp, and we've got a dream. So in we go, fade next to the Rhine, drop off an orb there, it restricts mobility. It's not just about the Rhine hitting you as well, it's also about your team being able to hit these players. So when we slow the Genji down, they're just more like prone to taking damage from the rest of our team. Ryan pushes in aggressively, we bounce an orb off the wall, jump down, fade again. We're just dropping off these orbs. We've got to rely on some of our team pushing forward. Genji's now pushing us here. We bounce an orb flat off the wall so that we can then stack that with the coalescence as it bounces back towards them. Moira gets some orbs on the side here, but we're out on the point, slowing players down. Just rotate an angle. There is a Moira in front of us. Get her out of there. Winston's in a bit of trouble as well. Moira, however, gets taken out. We drop off a Phantasm orb, kill the Freya. It's looking good for us. Shatter comes in. We can't do anything about this one. There's no walls for cover. We're also on the point. We do get taken down, but crucially, the Rhine does as well. Our team look like they're cleaning up. The question is Genji going to push in now over onto our soldier? He jumps in over onto Ashe on the back line, but Ashe is pretty weak. Just about survives that one. And now we're spawned, and we should get a nice advantage. We fire a damage orb towards the spawn. Enemy choke point even, just to slow them down. Again, long range orbs now have a purpose. They can slow players down. As Freya gets taken out. Moira also was slow there from our orbs. Ryan's in a lot of trouble. Mercy is with them though. We've got to watch out for the res if we do take him out. Does get taken out. So next target, where's the Mercy? Where's the Mercy? Where's the Mercy? I don't see her, so I think we're okay. She's fallen back for now. So Ryan's not getting res. This is looking good, but there's still a lot of time. Genji Blade comes in as soon as we fade, which is unfortunate. So we're running all the way to the back of the point. Damage comes out. We manage to take them down. Just trying to out-heal that coalescence as well. Save our Ashe up the top. Does get stuck by a bit. I think they're low health, but we've really got to focus on our tank and taking out some players here. We've got coalescence, so we go for a flank over. Unfortunately, healers are healing healers, so it's quite hard to get any kills. But either way, they're kind of pinned in that corner. We drop off a Phantasm orb up top, fire another one, try and hit the chain grasp on them as well. Moira's forced to fade and Freya's out the choke point. In comes a Genji. If he dashes us, we fade again. Gonna have to fade early this time, so we try and take the high ground up there. At least it minimizes potential threats. Moira is tracking us behind, but we're okay because we've got fade in a second. Suzu also comes in to save us. Our team's all over the point. Monkey doing a great job creating the space for us, and we managed to take the round 1-2. We clawed one back. 15k. Not bad.
Up next, we're picking up speed with a payload race.
So the debuffs are working. They're working nicely. Phantasmic Flux is just going to give us more survival. We've got 6k left. So we can sell the ability power, the 1k item. Simply because we've already got the ability lifesteal now from Phantasmic Flux. So we've got 8k, which means we can get 2 4k items. Wrist Wraps is going to really help with the Chain Grasp, as mentioned earlier. Also gives us a little bit of ability power. And then it's like, well, what are we going to go after that? We're checking armor because maybe we could go Shield Buster. If we want to stack more stuff with, with the Chain Grasp. We're looking in the weapon category, so that seems where we want to go. The Stratosphere Beacon does give us a bit of health, which is, survivability. It also does a little bit against the Flyers on their team, which technically could be 3 of them. Advanced nanobiotics. So when we're healing a target, which is always with Moira, because we're either self-healing or we've got a heal over time on somebody, we're going to gain 15% attack speed. So it's one of the safest ones that we can get. And the chat's just saying to him, look, your hit scan, go get some anti-air items. And you know what? I do agree with that.
3, 2, 1. Let the gates...
So off we go on the payload race. So this is certainly a fun map. I've actually been really liking this mode. It's a bit confusing with the objectives, but the maps I feel like play really well. They're a bit flyer friendly though, so we may struggle on this one. As we dodge the fire strike, push up aggressive again. I'm quite happy alternating the in and outs with the tank here. As there, Ryan decides, look, I don't want to be trapped in this corner shielding the team. Pushed forward a little bit, but had some hesitation. So drop off an orb as the Ryan swings, make him waste the swing. That means that he hasn't got his shield up and he goes for a pin in the meantime, but gets slowed. Low health, we're trying to get the other side of him. We drop one off as he swings, but he connects this time. As Winston jumps in, we're slowing everybody down for them now. Genji dives in on us. Yeah, it's not going to work out that well for him, not if he's slowed. Genji's hate. Liquid nitrogen. Now trying to attack the Freya. We've got a bit of attack speed with that wrist wraps as well. Ryan's coming in for a pin, so we fade back round the corner of the rock. Notice that. That's important. We're using these rocks. Even now, we're standing next to it because if he shatters and we don't have fade, we can just sidestep it. Once we've got fade, we can be brave. Because it's just a case of reacting. So we haven't got fade here. We've got it now. Drop off an orb on the other side where we think he might be shielding if he's playing in that room. Now we're hugging close to that left wall just in case we need to strafe behind it if he's going to shatter. So we heard the pin this time. Jump behind, make sure that we leave this time. We notice a Freya's in the back. We didn't even see when she got there. Might have been hurting our team quite a lot. Fade again. Watch out for the pin because there's a good chance they chase you afterwards. Chases us here and, well, yeah, we get solo shattered. But to be honest, I would have done the same if I was the Rhine. We've been slowing him the entire game. Get the Moira down. So fire damage orb because again it slows the Genji. So that will slow him getting in close to attack. We know Ryan hasn't got shatter now, so it's okay to kind of play around them a little bit. Just making sure we dodge the fire strikes though and be aware that they could pin us. We drop one off there and make sure that we're around the corner so there's no pin. Bounce an orb flat off the wall. Try and get round and it is still slowing players down. We do have our ults. We fade back. We try and save them with the coalescence. The coalescence is going to have the effect also of slowing players, reducing their healing. So we want to make sure that we're doing both healing and damage with this coalescence, which we do a good job of. We fade coincidentally at the time that the Ryan shatters. It wasn't intentional. We were dropping off an orb next to him, but who knows, maybe it partly baited that. So now we've slowed down a couple of players. Winston's doing a great job as well over in the back line. The aggressive play here. As Moira's forced to fade back, we try and connect an orb to slow her down. It does connect. As you can see, when we've got Cyber Venom, a little icon appears above their head whenever they've got anti-heal. And that also means that they'd have the liquid nitrogen effect on them. So you can also tell by the purple feet, by the way, when somebody gets slowed. Their feet turn purple, and that means, yeah, they're slowed. We had the Ryan pin, but now we want to try and cut them off. We want to stay here until our fade's up, but it was too late, so we're forced to use a heal orb, maybe the first in the game. Because, yeah, we used both of our cooldowns, and we need health for it, but in comes Coalescence. Kitsune Rush also in play. Enemy team got a lot of pushing to do. Ryan's there, so we just slow him down on spawn. He doesn't get the charge all the way to the choke point this way, so the fire strikes are kind of wasted. Again, as he's about to swing, that's when we hit fade, drop off the orb. He's just permanently slow, trying to get into the point, but never even gets there. And our team take the round 2-2. 15k again.
Coming up next, put those hands together. It's time for
also, guys, if you haven't liked the video or hit the subscribe button, it really helps me out. If you want me to continue making all of these videos and stuff, then yeah, it'd be greatly appreciated. Right, going into round 5. Sorry, I hate doing that YouTube stuff. So we pick multi-ball very quickly. We just go, look, the debuffs are causing them absolute havoc. If we do need to just go full debuffs, that's an option for us, right? Sorry, full orbs. Then in the last round, we could get cross orbal or something, and then we've got healing, damage orbs, and whatever. But we pick booster jets because we still want our chain grasp to do something against the Freya Mercy, right? Having the orbs is kind of like all or nothing. And then Limerico looks like a great choice because we're constantly getting up close to players and fading. And we'll take damage when we're going in. And Limerico is just going to give us a bunch of armor as soon as we fade away. So it's basically just like, kind of like lifesteal. Well, either way, it's self-healing, right? Just looking at the build, because we've got 2k left, I hate leaving money on the table. But I think we're pretty optimal right now. Booster Jet's going to give us some movement speed when we hit that fade as well, which is going to allow us to get some distance away from a Genji or a Rein. Because when you use an ability, you get a 20% movement speed increase.
The goddess is here. The armory is about to close.
So, one of the big questions at this part is, do we want to go head on to the enemy team? Like, through the straight ahead, right? And up the ramp and up the stairs and have a close quarters fight? Or do we want to go to the side? And with the orbs that I've got, I want to go that way. But when I see Winston going the other way, we say, okay, we can't go up there. So we do a little cheeky fade jump up top, fire the orbs, and that's where the enemy team would be in. I would kind of be screwed there if I didn't have my tank. So we get deleted and get screwed anyway. Moira orb and a Ryan swing just comes in, annihilates us. And again, you can't help but feel you let your team down when you go for those. But look, we play aggressively and the team's playing really well. Getting a couple of kills. Mercy is down on the enemy team. Is going to really help them out. Again, firing damage orbs. Like, you'd think, oh, healing orbs just going to heal our team there. With Kiriko, it's better to slow the enemies. It's more chance of securing kills and less chance that they deal damage. It's like healing by proxy. Flying these slows. So drop on the Ryan, drop an orb just behind him. As Moira fades back, they've also got Phantasm now. They may have had it earlier, actually. I didn't really notice. So it's a bit risky fading into this window, but we're looking to apply any orbs for anybody who's coming through this doorway. Instead, we rotate and just fire them over there, and we leave a Phantasm orb in that door. So anyone pushing through there is going to get hit. Steve, Freya, and Mercy might as well put a little bit of pressure on them because we'll be able to fade back. We fade out of there. If we need to, we've got a soldier next to us, help us survive. A lot of damage comes in though. We fade back. Genji's on us, and yeah, even when he's slowed, we couldn't go off because he faded kind of past us, so we had to back off into the stairs, and yeah, there was no chance there. So, enemy team making some progress on the bot now. Moira firing some orbs in against us. Oh, we just fade the Ryan as we see him, and that actually puts us in a nice position to use Coalescence. Moira's getting healed by the Mercy, though. The Cyber Venom's really going to help here. We fade now because we hear the Ryan charge. Try and attack the Mercy. It slows her down. Again, more chance that other players are going to be able to hit her. She's very fast normally. In comes Freya ult. Ryan pin as well. We flat bounce the orbs. So that, then we get shattered. We do manage to survive it, though. Going for a pin. He went for Winston and not me, which is kind of nice. Yeah, we flat bounce that again. Double orb on there. Ryan would take quite a bit of damage. He's got a Mercy popped in him though, so it's not actually going to do that much. Any chance we can get to contest the bot as well and just prevent them from getting further distance, we'll take it. The orb we left behind gets a kill over onto the Mercy. We flat bounce this in case the Ryan retreats, which he does, so the orb's going to bounce back and continue hitting them. Now in Kitsune Rush, that booster jet's really helping the chain grasp and attack speed. Fade forward, attack the Freya. 12 seconds remaining. I'm not sure the enemy team are going to be able to get touches here. Seems there's pings going off behind us, which may mean that somebody's there, but we want to cut off spawners, slow them down, and make sure that they can't get back to this bot. Ryan gets taken down. There is a Genji floating around behind that for some reason I'm not paying attention to, but Freya's over, trying to get a touch on the bot. Well, actually, the bot's a bit further back. 3-2.
Some intense competition this round.
We didn't get MVP that round, though.
Coming up, the teams are going head-to-head in control.
Right, round 6. So we've got 12k. We can swap out Smart Orbs for Extendrils. I don't like having both of those most of the time because I feel like you're kind of throwing all your eggs in one basket. It's not ideal in my opinion. So also looking at what else we can sell here. So booster jets for Eye of the Spider. Now that does mean that you've just got a little bit more weapon power. It does mean better heal over times. You've obviously got the chain grasp effect with the players below 30% life. It's a consideration, but there may be other options, right? Because if we were to sell that and sell something else, we could get a different one. There's also that we could go for Champions Kit. So it's deciding out of the two 14k items, if we go Champions Kit, we'll have the ability power. We can go either way with this. Do we want the orbs with extendrils to really, really hurt, or do we want chain grasp to do more? Yeah, we're up to 40k damage at the moment. More to come.
If the team wins this next point, they'll take the match.
So if the team wins this next point, they'll take the match. And that is the goal. So we're going to be going out of spawn now. Want to flat bounce an orb. Well, not flat bounce, but angle bounce an orb over here so that it goes towards their spawn. As you can see, it's ticking there. Nice little trick in regular Overwatch as well, not just Stadium. Fire some orbs over there, and then, again, find an area of cover after we've used both of our cooldowns. It's important with Phantasm. If you were just using, say, cross orbital or something normally, you'd try and alternate your cooldowns so you've always got one of them. But we're trying to stack them, which means we need to have phases of we've got cover, we've got no cover. Otherwise, we end up in a situation like this, where we're trying to dodge and predict movement, but we just end up getting hammered. We could have probably faded that there, but I thought I had time to fire the orbs and then fade. But yeah, that's kind of the risk with using both of the cooldowns and then having to rely on positioning. And that's one of the keys to Phantasm play. So peek over the wall, fire. Then we duck and cover to the other one. Moira's kind of wasted the orbs by firing them at where we were, which is why we did the little mini rotation. Genji doesn't actually deflect the orbs. Stays away from them instead. Even if Genji does deflect the orbs that we fire, they're still going to apply the effect because they're going to be close enough to it. So he'll still get slowed. So we drop off a Phantasm orb from there. Chasing with the Coalescence. He had a lot of armor on us though. Ryan goes in for the pin. We weren't sure if we were actually going to get pinned with that. Moira's there. Yeah, we're going to have to use heal orbs here because even if we attack them, I don't think we're going to have damage, and we're being pretty much stalked by this Moira right now. But yeah, you're going to regret that as soon as I get to fire my damage orbs. Again, just short of fade before we can fade through and get the Mega. Ryan chasing us down. Enemy team on 80% though. It's not looking great for us. We really need to get this capture point under control. Just making our way back to the point now. Genji's in a bit of trouble. I don't know if he deflected the orb or not, but we've got to go to the point. Again, used our cooldown to get there though. So we've just got to try and dodge and survive. Until then, Freya does go down. We've got Phantasm orb. We dropped that off, but Genji didn't actually go for us. Get hit by a fire strike and we flat bounce an orb. Ryan chasing, so we're going to fade jump up top. That gets us safe from any Ryan pins. If you play this map in an earlier part of the game, by the way, you can buy the fade jump item because it's really useful for getting to the floor to that high ground. But obviously, end game, I'm not going to sacrifice an item for that. We take down Genji there. We've got a nice orb that's just affecting the entire enemy team. Ryan's there being healed by the Mercy, so instead we swap to target the Moira. Mercy's still over there. We bounce the orbs slightly upwards so they bounce flat off the wall and don't just fly off into space. Now we've got the Kitsune Rush. It is done. It is absolutely done here. Mercy can't get a res off. We've got the point. We just need to get it to 100% now. So more orbs come through. We fade that. Leave one behind in the process. Genji's going over to the Mega. We've got to be aware of that. We try and get an orb over them to slow them down. Now rotate to get them here. Leave an orb off. Now, leaving the orbs in the choke points, it creates like a damage zone, which is quite nice to do. So anywhere on these like stairs is good because anyone who now pushes through that side, they have to go through that orb. And anyone pushing through the other side when we rotate has to go through us. So it's kind of creating a bit of a blockade there. Bone orbs take down the Moira. We drop one off just outside the doorway in case Genji decides to wall climb away from the Winston. We're up to 60% now. Okay, Ryan pushes us. We're okay to take a swing. It's not the end of the world. We missed the fade jump up top though, which means we've got to go around this center pillar just to make sure we don't get shattered. When our team's in front of us, that's okay. We've got a fade back up again so we can play forward. This time we hit the fade jump up top. We use our Coalescence partly for sustain, partly so that we can attack this Ryan. We've got fade. to get the damage over onto the Rhine. Moira also gets taken down by our soldier. There's a monkey out there, 99%, 100%. I get a text message, and yes, we win the game. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really like commentating these ones, actually, and I've seen all of your YouTube comments as well, the feedback, and yeah, just thanks for the support. Thanks for watching the videos. I try my best to entertain, try my best to help you learn anything in the years of knowledge that I've got playing this game and Hero. Well, hope to see you in the next one. GG.